So, you're probably in your first week of university. You're probably just moved away from home and you probably have no idea what's going on. So here are some of the things when I moved to Bournemouth University that I could advise to people moving there now. Kind of things that I wish I'd known, kind of like helpful tips I picked up along the way. Okay, so number one is buy an Alist card. An Alist card will give you loads of discounts to loads of good stuff. If you join a sports team, you'll probably get one anyway. And that'll be called a varsity card. It just means you're in a sports team. But like go to Noodle Bar, which is near all the halls, 50% off. Go to the Coconut Tree on Old Christchurch Road, 20% off. Gets you Cameo Wednesdays, money off. Like, so worthwhile buying one. Tip one, get an Alist card. Only if you're the kind of person that goes out there, otherwise I don't know if you save that much money on it. Tip two, don't buy a fresher wristband. I bought one, my friends bought one. They're kind of fun. It means you can rely on doing something each evening, which if you were like me and you weren't really sure what was going on, is really handy to have. But most of the events you can go to anyway. There were a couple that one of my flatmates couldn't come, but they only do events at the old fire station, which you'll get to know is the student union club, and that's not that not everything is there. You'll go to places like Cameo, Halo, like there's so much stuff in town that also run events on those first 2 weeks of freshers, and that wristband won't really benefit you with that. I would, if you're on your group chats with your flatmates, or talk to them, because a lot of the time they're who you go out with to start, even though you may realise you don't have the same interests or you find other friends. A lot of the time that is everyone's like first group of people they start to make friends with and go out with. Number three, this is so important. So if you love sports and you want to go to Bournemouth, it's not the best place for trying something new. So I already played volleyball when I went to uni, but I really wanted to try hockey. I went to the hockey trials, spoke to them at the Freshers Fair, and they were like, yeah, sure, we take new people. Absolutely did not take beginners. Like, at the Freshers Fair, you'll see a lot of stuff that's about joining teams, like, competitively. And they're really not for beginners a lot of the time. Lacrosse has a development team. Ask societies if they have a development team, because a lot of those things at the Freshers Fair are for like the Bucks League team, recruiting for that. But don't let that put you off trying something new or not going to Bournemouth because of the sports situation. It took me till third year to find this, which it really shouldn't have, but like campus league sport, which I didn't know was a thing. So if you go to Sport BU reception, you can do things like basketball, karate, pole fitness, football. Like, there is loads and loads of options of like more fun beginner sports that you can do, and I wish I knew about this sooner. So I looked at doing karate and I ended up doing pole fitness, and they're really cheap classes. And also, other thing, if you do join a society like tennis, netball, lacrosse, you do have to pay to join them, and they're not cheap. So you have to basically first of all pay for insurance, which is like my first year was 60. I think it's gone up nearer to 100 now. And you've got to pay for your kit as well, which is the best part of £100, although I believe Bournemouth sponsor is changing this year to be something a bit cheaper, EV2, I don't really know. But also the campus league stuff you do have to pay for, but it's so reasonably priced. And you will meet loads of people doing them. And yeah, I wish I found out that was a thing sooner. I really would recommend, if you're going to Bournemouth, to think about joining lacrosse's development. The men's team, I think, is where it's such an unusual sport, and so many people a lot of the time haven't really played it at school unless you go to like very specific schools in the UK. So the men's team take beginners, and the women's team not only take beginners in the teams, but also have development because it's really popular. I would say with lacrosse, since I've been there, everyone's been really, really welcoming, and I think that is shown more in lacrosse than other teams. I mean, I've not massively joined other teams, but I know people say generally lacrosse is quite a friendly society, so I'd bear that in mind if you're going. But yes, don't be put off by not getting in to teams, because I was initially. I thought it was pretty rubbish that you couldn't go to university and try new things, so you need to go and speak to Sport BU desk, and there's a timetable of all different things they do. They also run things like yoga classes, spin classes, like pump, I think, things like that, like, and you can go to them as well. And the membership, I can't remember, I don't think it's too much if you buy it at the beginning of first year, but I can't entirely remember. But yeah, I would recommend doing some classes or joining one of the like fun teams if you aren't able to get into a society team and it's kind of thing you're interested in. Another piece of advice I've got, if you are on a healthcare course, most of your lectures are literally next to all the student accommodation. You'll be in the Bournemouth Gateway building, which is next to Cranbourne House, which is the cheapest accommodation where I lived, next to Bailey Point, such a short walk from places like Bellerton, Home Park and Dorchester House. So when you're deciding whether to get your bus pass, I would say, for me, no. It's £80 a term, and it's a £2.50 return to the uni. Personally, it was a no. I got it, but if I did it again, I'd say no, because I didn't use it enough to make £80 out of £2.50 return journeys. I trained there for volleyball in first year, but because of the times of training, had to get a public bus, which actually was covered on it, but I still don't think I would have made it back, because you have occasional lectures there, but they have put a new big lecture theatre in the new building, so I don't know if it would be used. I guess if you're training like netball or going to the gym there a lot, or meet friends at Dylan's or something like that, then yeah, recommend it. But just think about how much you'll actually get the bus to main campus if everything you need is walking distance, because that could save you £80. Another tip, the food at Lansdowne is not the one, okay? If you are new and you're in Lansdowne and you're in the Bournemouth Gateway building, walk to the Tesco on Holdenhurst Road. I'm not trying to do the uni out of any money, but it's not great for like sandwiches. It's so expensive and it's not particularly nice, so just go get your club card, get a meal deal. There's a good Tesco for meal deals on Holdenhurst Road, which is like 5 minutes walking from the uni, and opposite the fire station, which I'm sure you'll get to know. And I think the last thing I can advise starting at Bournemouth is a big fat yes to summer ball and Bournemouth Sevens. Some people say one's better than the other. I think I've loved Bournemouth Sevens the 2 years I've gone. Because of COVID, I could only go to summer ball 1 year, and it was before our exam, which was on the Monday after. So I was pretty limited with how much we could enjoy it, because we had to be back early and not really have anything to drink, which you can still enjoy it, but it wasn't as fun as it could have been. But yes, if you're in Bournemouth and you've started, good luck, stay safe, don't swim, do not swim after a night out, it's so dangerous, and just enjoy it, you will love it.